The client has just had their first direct neurofeedback session and they are about to leave the office. This is a crucial moment where you will have to manage the client's expectations. The observations they make and the effects they experience in the next 24 hours will be critical in guiding future sessions. To assist you with assisting your client, we have included the take-home sheet in your handouts. Once the session is complete, review some of the effects the client could feel or could already be beginning to feel. Review the specific symptoms you want your client to track. The most important thing you can ask the client is, what do you notice that is different? Immediately following the session, the answer to this may be nothing at all. If that is the client's response, make sure to let them know that it is perfectly normal to not experience effects right away. Sometimes it can take a few minutes, sometimes it can take a few hours, and sometimes it can even take a full day before effects make themselves known. That's why the follow-up is so important. Some of what your clients may notice is different could be, and likely will be, textbook signs of improvement. They include calmness, clarity, energy, either mental or physical, optimism, and a sense of well-being. There also exists the possibility of overstimulation, which is marked by the clients reporting experiences of being fatigued, wired, or giddy and anxious, lightheaded, having a headache or a slight pressure in their head, feeling nauseous, or their current condition flaring up, such as feeling more anxious or more depressed. Each of these signs of overstimulation are very common and always temporary. Overstimulation is actually a positive sign. It means that the brain is responding to treatment. In a similar vein to a sore muscle being a positive sign that you had a good workout at the gym and it's being strengthened. While understanding those common signs can be helpful, the most important question is still, does the client notice anything different at all? Different can mean slight changes in behavior. For instance, did a client who suffers from isolating depression still feel depressed but also call their parents? Did an anxious client still experience anxiety but find themselves able to talk themselves through it before a panic attack was triggered? Here's where that 1 to 10 scale really comes in handy. You can ask the client for their number and compare it to your notes from the last session. These type of changes are relative to the client's normal behaviors and represent the types of improvements clients can expect. It's also important to remember the changes elicited by early sessions are likely to manifest as temporary. So make sure to advise your clients who feel strong improvements to be prepared, as they could experience the so-called fall from heaven when the improvements return to baseline. Finally, shortly after the first session, make sure you and your client follow up via telephone. Their observations of those first 24 hours are critical to guiding their follow-up sessions. Good questions to ask when you get them on the phone are, do you have any signs of overstimulation? If there were signs of overstimulation, did they abate within 24 hours? Have you noticed any changes at all? If the client reports no changes, it's a good idea to ask them to walk you through their day. There's a chance that you may notice something that went unnoticed by the client themselves that could actually be indicative of a change. One great thing to ask about is their drive to and from work. One of the most common effects clients report is that they are more relaxed and less reactive in traffic situations. Make sure to record those answers for reference in follow-up sessions. And speaking of follow-up sessions, that's the focus of our next module because this completes our look at the first session.